today's video is going to be an updated foundation routine on my foundation and my base makeup. I also did how I highlight and contour kind of thing in this video as well, even though you guys probably have seen this a lot in my tutorials, but I thought I'd just add it in for those of you guys that haven't seen me do it before. So yeah, this video is my foundation routine. I thought I'd do a bit of an update as my other one was filmed like over a year ago. So if you guys want to see how I get my full face of makeup, then please keep on watching. First disclaimer, even though I'm not apologizing about it, I do have some, well, I have 2 spots on my face. I am on that time of the month, therefore I am breaking out. Other than that, my skin's been not too bad. I mean, I was breaking out quite bad at the start of the year, but my skin's cleared up a lot now. But I have this huge zit here and huge zit here, but like I said, it's because it's that time of the month, so yeah, that's why I have 2 spots. But I am human, I do get spots. So anyway, so what I'll do is I will show you guys my foundation routine, and I will show you guys highlight and contour kind of as well, even though I know you guys see that a lot in my get ready with me videos and everything. But for those of you guys who haven't seen, then I will show you. I'm still trying to figure out the best contour and highlight for my skin because I'm so fair. But I'll just show you guys what I've been doing right now like I did in my last foundation routine. I am using some of the same sorts of products, but I've changed it up a little bit as well. So first thing I do is I always make sure I prime, because this helps prolong the life of your foundation and how long it lasts, and it helps it stick to your skin better. Plus it also protects your skin from getting your pores clogged and everything. So I generally use 2 primers. The first one I use, this is kind of weird, if you guys don't watch Nikki tutorials, you might not know and you might think this is completely random, but I use the Nivea for Men Sensitive Post Aftershave Balm, which Nikki Tutorials uses, and I think a lot of girls are now been using this as a primer. It's super cheap, and I actually had some in my house that my uncle and my granddad hadn't used yet, so I was like, I'm going to steal this and use it as a primer. And the reason it's so good is because its main product content is glycerin, and glycerin is great to have in primers because it helps make the foundation and everything stick to it, so it really makes your foundation stick down to your skin. So it's very watery, and if you guys want to hear more about it, Nikki Tutorials talks about it more in her videos. But I just shake some up, put it on my hand, and rub it into your skin, and it feels really wet and watery at first, but if you rub it in, it starts to feel a little bit tacky. And I just kind of use generally 2 pumps, or what do you call it, pumps, 2 shakes, and put that all over my face, and it just makes your skin feel a little bit tacky, and it really does help make a difference with your foundation. And it's good for sensitive skin, and it's a balm, and it's for aftershave, so it's, you know what I mean, it's fine to use on your face. And the next primer I use, it looks a bit grotty because it's been in my makeup bag, but I use the Rimmel London Stay Matte Primer, and I'm nearly out. I generally change up my primers a lot as well. I was using like the Maybelline one, but I've been using this for months now, and again, it's a really good primer to put in the T-zone of your face to help prevent oil. Again, it's like a really sticky kind of silicone based primer, and it just looks like this. And I just generally concentrate that in the centers of my face, like my forehead, my nose, my cupid's bow and chin, just where you tend to get oily, and feather it out a bit. And this really helps to fill in your pores, and it's super cheap as well because Rimmel London products are really affordable. So now that we're all primed and ready, I'm going to show you guys the foundations that I use. So the first foundation I have here is my L'Oreal Paris Infalible Matte Foundation. I have 2 different foundations here, both by L'Oreal. The other one is my True Match Foundation. These are both quite full coverage foundations. This one's super full coverage, this one's a little bit more natural, this one's super matte, this one's super dewy. So kind of, I said similar, didn't I? They're completely different foundations, so it's good to have 2 different foundations in your collection that you can kind of switch up. So I generally wear my Infallible Matte Foundation if I'm going ham that day. So I wear this to work because I work really long, like 11-hour shifts at work, and this makes your face stay so matte, completely matte all day. It's so full coverage, and I wear this, say, if I'm going out in the night. It really, really lasts. So if you love matte foundations, you will love this. Like, this is an amazing foundation, super full coverage, like I said. But the one I generally wear on a day-to-day basis when I'm not working and I'm not like going out and stuff, I wear my L'Oreal True Match. Again, I say this is medium to full coverage. It covers my skin really nicely, but this one I feel is quite hydrating. It gives you a really nice dewy glow to the skin, but it covers everything it needs to cover, and I feel like the shade wise this matches me a little bit better than the Infallible. The shades I am in the Infallible one, I am, what shade am I? I am number 1 Porcelain, or well, number 10 Porcelain, sorry. And in the True Match, I am N1 Ivory. Now these are easy, I'm just the palest shade in this one. But the True Match is better for a range of skin tones because I'm N1, which is neutral, I think. And then they've got pink undertone ones and all that sort of stuff, but I don't really know exactly how it works, but you can properly match your skin tone really well with this. Again, it's still that tiny bit dark for me, but it's definitely the best foundation I've found to match my complexion as well as I can. So this one matches me the best. This one can be still a little bit too dark, but if you blend it well, it still works. But today, for the purpose of the video, I'm going to use my True Match because, like I said, on my days off, I like to kind of wear the True Match foundation because, again, my skin's a little bit more dry right now as well, so because of the cold weather. So this is really good for hydrating your skin. It gives you a little bit more dewy finish. If you're oily, it might make you look a bit oily because it is that kind of luminous sort of foundation. But again, amazing. There's 2 L'Oreal foundations here which are really good. Both, again, completely different, and I love them both so much. But I think this one is amazing, but I definitely think I tend to reach for the True Match one more so, especially on my days off, because I don't know, I just feel like it makes my skin look really glowy and everything, especially because I don't really have oily skin anyway, so it makes me look nice and glowy, whereas this one is just super long lasting. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use my True Match. I think I used this in my last one too, but if you guys want to see, say, a full in-depth review and me using this, just let me know and I can do that as well. But again, I apply them the same, so the way I show you how I apply this foundation, I do the same with this one. So I'm going to be using my True Match, and I apply this with my beauty blender. It's a little bit dirty right now. It's not too bad, but it is a bit dirty. This is the official beauty blender that I got mine off Beauty Bay. They are quite expensive. You can use the Real Techniques beauty blender as well, or what it's called, blending sponge, but it's a lot more dense than this. It's not as soft, and I definitely don't think it does as good a job as the actual beauty blender. So I use this, and what I do is I put it under running water, squeeze all the excess water out, make it really damp. And honestly, if you guys haven't tried the beauty blender, you need to try it. It makes your foundation look flawless and airbrush, and it doesn't make you cake up as well because it soaks up all the excess foundation that's not needed. So what I tend to do is I grab my True Match foundation and I pump it on my hands and I put it on areas of my face, so on my cheeks. And again, the less you use, the more natural finish you're going to have. And I put some on my chin. And that's all I really usually put on. And then I take my beauty blender and I just pat it all into my skin. Don't rub with the beauty blender because it's just going to take all the foundation away. You need to just pat it, and honestly it's so fast, it's so easy, and it makes your foundation look amazing. So I just do bouncing, stippling motions with this all over my face until the foundation is completely blended. That is it. This is it with no powder or anything. It just sets down really nice. With the beauty blender, you feel like as well, your skin doesn't feel all tacky, like your foundation is sitting on your skin. It feels like it really sets down. Definitely a worthwhile tool getting your hands on if you haven't tried it yet. So now onto concealer. The concealer that I love, honestly, this is an amazing concealer. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer HD High Definition Concealer, and mine is in the shade Porcelain, which is the palest shade. And honestly, this concealer is so cheap and it's just incredible. Such a full coverage concealer, it doesn't crease, it's absolutely amazing. Another concealer that I like to use, which I am pretty much out of, is my MAC Pro Longwear. This one is like cement. They're both really long lasting. Honestly, if I could say get one, definitely get this one because it's much cheaper and it's just as good. But I do use this one as well, say if I want if I'm going out or anything, just for the purpose of using some high-end makeup. But again, you don't really need this. This is an amazing concealer. It's just something else I sometimes use. And the awesome thing about it too is some people might not like it and think it's unhygienic, but I think it's fine. It comes with a squirty kind of tube and a brush, so it's really easy to apply. So what I do is I squirt some out, and the areas I apply it is under my eyes, on my eyelids because I've got veiny eyelids, and under eye circles because again I'm human and I get really tired. I always put some in the center of my forehead. I put some down my nose. I have a spot here, so I generally put some on some spots if I have redness and everything like that. I also put some on my cupid's bow, squeeze it more out, and I put some on my chin, and I put a little bit around my nostrils sometimes too if I feel like I need that. So that's just all I put the areas in. I don't go ham on concealer because I'm that fair as well that I don't need to highlight. But these concealer range has such a broad range of colours too. They also come with darker shades, and they come with green and like orange shades, which helps with discoloration as well, so definitely worth checking out. I get mine off Cocktail Cosmetics, if you guys were wondering. And what I do is sometimes you can use the Beauty Blender to blend out your concealer, which is again another good technique. Use the point and you blend it all out nice, but I generally like to use my finger. I don't know why. I used to use the Beauty Blender to blend it out all the time, but I feel like I don't know, it gives a fuller coverage when I just use my finger to blend it out. But again, you can use the Beauty Blender, it works just as good, but I generally just use my finger. So all I do is I just pat out the concealer on all the areas. And I generally pat, I don't swipe, especially on your under eyes because you don't want to pull that kind of skin. So I just pat to blend it in and tap it in place. And I just feel like, yeah, using my finger, it gives just a more of a full coverage, which is what you want concealer to do. So I'm just patting that out. Concealer's all blended out. I like to quickly go in with my set powder, and the set powder I always use is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in translucent. I use this in my last routine. I've been using this for years. It's just the best set powder and it's so cheap. And what I do is I take a little fluffy brush. I use this solely for just setting my eyes. So what you want to do is take some translucent powder and quickly set your under eyes and your eyelids from creasing, because you can get little lines and crevices if you don't, where your concealer sinks in if you don't set it. So all I do is I just set this with the fluffy brush, and then it keeps my concealer under my eyes in place all day. And now for the rest of my face, I just take this xxchlozaahxx big kabuki brush. You can use any set brush that you feel comfortable, but I love this because it really packs the powder into the skin. If you're someone that likes to be more glowy, just set the center of your face and leave the rest, but I like to set everything down so it's a little bit more long lasting. I just pat that all over my skin. Again, I generally pack it on. I don't swipe or anything like that. Okay, and that is literally the face all done. That's all I do for my foundation. So the foundation routine portion is done. And I'm going to show you guys how I kind of highlight and contour sort of thing. Again, I'm not an expert at this, and this is just how I've been doing it as of lately. I have a whole lot of blushes and stuff like that, but I'll just show you guys, say, my absolute favorite and kind of like do it that way because I have a lot of blushes and stuff like that. So I'll just show my main stuff that I use. So first, for bronzing, I like to bronze up my face a little bit because I'm so pale and it just gives some nice warmth. And I use my Collection Bronze and Glow. You guys have probably seen this a million times. And this is in the shade Sunkissed. And I'm nearly all out of it, but I think I'm going to definitely try different bronzer this time. Just because I want to switch up my products like you guys suggest. So all I do is I just take this angled fluffy brush and fluffy brush, and I just take it in the contours of my face, but only roughly, because all we're trying to do right now is give warmth. We're not trying to actually sculpt the face. And I take it around the forehead area. It just helps slim down the forehead. Not that I have a really big forehead anyway. and this just helps warm up the face a little bit, give you a nice kind of glow. And this bronzer is really nice because it's not super pigmented, so it doesn't make you look super orange or anything like that. So it's quite a nice bronzer for fair skin, I feel. So that's literally all I do. It takes like 5 seconds. It just adds a little bit of a glow to the face. And then I kind of like to contour. I've been using Revolution's Ultra Bronze Bronzer, and this one is, again, it's a little bit too like brown for me. I need something a bit more ashy, but it's what I'm using so far. And you guys have made a lot of suggestions actually in my videos for stuff to try, so I'm definitely taking into consideration the stuff you guys have been recommending for fair skin, and I'm definitely going to try them out, but this is all I've got at the moment. And I take the same brush and I kind of squeeze the bristles and just dab it in lightly because this is very pigmented. And I squeeze the brush still, and I apply this in the hollows of my face. Not that I have much hollows because I've just got a very round face. And I just try and sculpt some cheekbones. So this is what I do. If you feel like you need a little bit more, just take a little bit more. Just slightly. I don't like to go too overboard with it because otherwise I'll look like an orange mess. I take a little bit too in the temple areas here to help slim down the face. And again, I take it the other side. And you can take some as well on the jawline if you want, if you have a nice double chin like me. But just don't go too, don't use too much because otherwise you'll have like kind of like an orange neck, so only a little bit. And that's literally it. I don't contour my nose or anything because otherwise my nose will look muddy, because again my contour is still a bit too dark for my skin tone, but I'm making it work. So I have a whole lot of blushes by Milani, but my favourite one of all time is Luminoso. And this is just a really nice peachy kind of blush for fair skin, of course for any skin tone, but it really works nicely on fair skin. It's so gorgeous, and I use this Morphe blush brush here to apply that on my cheekbones, on my cheeks, the apples of my cheeks, and it go as light or as intense as you want with blush. Don't go too intense obviously, but I like to have quite glowy cheeks, so I just run this from my apples. Some people just concentrate it on their apples, but I take it all the way back on my cheeks. And then another one. Such a shame I've got this ugly spot on my cheek, but I'll make it work. So just like that, and it gives the cheeks a really nice kind of peachy glow. I absolutely love Luminoso, it's my favourite blush ever. Now for highlighting, I have two different highlighters that I like to use. This one I've been using for ages now. This is the Makeup Academy Undress Your Skin Iridescent Gold Highlighter. This one's a really bright golden light highlighter. It's really good again for fair skin, and if you're really dark or have tan skin, it's going to look super intense. But the one I've been using lately is a new one I've got, which is the MUA Undress Your Skin in Pink Shimmer. And I really like this one. It's a lot more subtle than the first one that I showed you, but it gives you a really nice peachy glow on top of your blush. So I think I'm going to use this one today. Ooh, or we could try a mixture. We'll see. And I just use my flat top foundation brush for this. This is my favourite way of applying highlighter because it really packs it on. So if you guys have a flat foundation brush you don't use, I use mine for highlighter because it's really amazing. And what I do is I run this on the top of my cheekbones. And I don't know if you can see, but it gives a really nice pinky hue. Really, really pretty. And I'm going to also add some of the first one that I showed you on top, just so we have a really lovely intense highlight. And these highlighters as well are so cheap. Like I think they're £3 or something like that from Superdrug. So definitely a really great drugstore highlight. And then I also like to take some on my Cupid's bow, so we have a nice glowing lip. It makes your lips look fuller. And I take some on my chin as well. If you don't like your chin, don't highlight it. So if there's any areas that you don't want to accentuate that I'm showing you, don't do it. So if you don't like your nose, I wouldn't highlight it either. So with my nose, I personally highlight the bridge here, and then I do the tip. It kind of pulls your nose up, gives you a nice piggy nose. And then I also highlight where the arch of your brow is, so where that point is, I just put a tiny bit of highlighter there too. It just helps to lift your brow. And it just gives you a really nice glow. So that is it for highlighting and contouring. And we are finished. Okay guys, so that is it for my updated foundation routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, my foundation routine is still quite similar to my old video, which I filmed like probably nearly a year ago now. But you guys wanted to see another foundation routine, so I thought that I would do one. I hope this helped. If you guys have any further questions on my foundation routine, then comment down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. There'll be links down below to my previous videos, my social networking sites, and my Etsy store, which you guys should check out because I am selling some really cool Christmas limited edition flower crowns. So that will all be linked down below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I love you guys so much and I hope you have a fantastic day.